Well, good morning and welcome to Baxter Arena and the University of Nebraska at Omaha. I am well aware that you've had to listen to a lot of speeches today, and I'm the last thing between our students getting their diplomas, their undergraduate degrees, their master's degrees, and their PhDs. So I plan to only speak for about 3.5 hours, so just settle in. Before I say a couple remarks, I just want to say some congratulations to our podium. Nate and Hannah, congratulations on the Order of the Tower. Nate graduated from what was previously Omaha College and now UNO 58 years ago, and I think he's probably the master maverick in the room today. So Nate, congratulations on you. Travis, yes. Travis, listening to your background, all I have to say is none of us are worthy. Amazing accomplishments as a 2005 graduate and all that you've done from MIT to Google X, really representing the university so well. And Adith, as our student speaker today, beautiful speech. I love the words that you ended with. Love, perseverance, and hope. And in fact, we didn't coordinate our talk at all, but I might talk about some of those themes myself. And I'm really proud of what you've done and to be representing Mavericks from South India. And I also want to say thank you to our regents. Regent Whites, thank you for delivering the welcome. And to also be here with our other regents, Tim Clare and Jack Stark. You know, our regents get paid virtually nothing. They represent all 93 counties of the great state of Nebraska, 8 of them publicly elected, and they do amazing work. And Barb, you and your husband Wally are amazing supporters of UNO, and I thank you for that continued, undying support for this great university. Thank you, Barb and Wally. And then, how about Dr. Joanne Lee? Dr. Joanne Lee, our chancellor here, the 16th chancellor of UNO. How great is it to have Dr. Lee here as your leader? I could not be more proud. Did we get this one right or what? How about let's give Chancellor Lee a big round of applause. Now, as Dr. Lee gave me this very generous introduction, I'm thankful that she made mention of my time in aviation. And yes, I went to Top Gun in 1985. And for some of you of a certain age may know that that's when they were filming the movie Top Gun. And yes, I was there. I actually met Tom Cruise, whose call sign, a lot of you know, is Maverick. So how appropriate that finally, after 36 years of going to Miramar, California, meeting Hollywood actors to see pop culture and icon of a movie like that, which is coming back out again, that I got to be here and now be a maverick like each and every one of you. I'm really excited about this, and it's really a special day for me to be with each and every one of you. Now, this day is about a moment in time. In fact, you've heard that reference many times. Regent Whites talked about taking that special moment. Dr. Lee gave you that 30 seconds to help celebrate. But really, this is about a moment in time. And it's about a moment in time that's a celebration for over 1,100 students. It's an incredible achievement. And through all the words and everything that you hear, and I know that you won't remember hardly anything I say today, what you really have to take away today is this is something that you have done. Our students, with the support of loved ones who have been recognized so much in our audience today, our faculty and staff who do an amazing work, our administrators who are up here on the stage behind me, this is a day of celebration. We cannot lose sight of that. But we also have to take kind of another look, because time is a commodity that sometimes we just don't really get enough perspective. Sometimes we look at time as something in the past, understanding our history, the moment in time that's right now, this moment, and then the time going forward. I reflect on my own time. It was 2 years today, to this very day, that I arrived here in Nebraska and started my time as your University of Nebraska president. I was interim for a couple of days and started on 1 January. So this is my 2-year anniversary of being in this position. I get to spend this time with you. I also reflect on my time, going back to 1977 when I was a young midshipman at the Naval Academy. It was one of the first things they taught us. Time, tide, and formation wait for no one. I didn't even really know what that meant. It really goes all the way back to an English proverb in the year 1225, when it really was time waits for no one. But really what I've come to know is we look backwards, time is important. It's important that we understand what's happened in the past so that we can understand where we are and where we might be going. The great author and historian, Nathaniel Hawthorne, born in 1804, wrote The Scarlet Letter, The Seven Gables. He observed birds on the lakes in Massachusetts where he lived. And he said, "Time flies over us, but leaves a shadow." We need to think about what that means and what it means for us even on this day, in this moment. And if we were to take a bigger, wider, open aperture of where we are today, I would argue that we are at a time that our community, our state, our nation, and the world has never ever seen before. Nothing like this. This is beyond just the 2 years that we've been in a global pandemic, one that we are still enduring. Delta, Omicron, we're going to run out of Greek letters before this thing is over. But yet we're still here in person. An economic crisis that was born out of the global pandemic. And although unemployment has improved greatly, jobs are available, we're now living with supply chain management issues, inflation, and costs. And that's not likely to change anytime soon. And then racial inequities, a conversation that we're having more and more as a nation, as a state, realizing that we maybe haven't moved as far forward as we'd like to. The intersection of all of these things make us wonder what's in the future. What is it going to be for this class of 2021 that you're inheriting? And how will the principles and the ideals of love, perseverance, and hope carry you forward? As I think about some of the greatest graduates that have ever been here to the university, somebody that I've become good friends with over the years is Secretary Chuck Hagel, a UNO graduate, comes and visits here quite often. He was recently here for a leadership discussion. And one of the things that he said to some of the students is, if you're going to be successful going forward, you got to get up every day and be about something. Have a passion for something. That's an important aspect, because those challenges that I described just now are going to still be there. We're going to have other challenges. We're going to have to learn how to feed a world of 1 billion people, a population by the year 2050. Food and water security are going to be challenges. We're a more interconnected world than we've ever been before, which is great, but now we've got to secure that network. Cybersecurity is a word that we probably didn't talk about even 10 years ago, and now it's something that's on the forefront of our minds all the time. But as I got a chance to know some of this class through the letters that you wrote to yourselves, you all took a moment and wrote letters to your younger selves. I read through all of them. There were 2 themes that came out, and I want to highlight those as I kind of come to my conclusion of my remarks today. The first is that you were not afraid to ask for help. Now again, for many of you, you've been here, whether it's a 4-year undergraduate degree, and you did it here in 4 years, half of that time was during this global pandemic. And mental health and the challenges of where we are in isolation are a reality. In this generation, you as students said to your younger selves, don't be afraid to ask for help. And you've done that. You wouldn't be here had you not done that. Many of those people that have helped you are here in Baxter Arena, whether it be in the stands with your loved ones or your faculty or staff. I applaud you for that. Don't ever lose that ability to say, I'm not sure what I need to do right here, but I'm going to ask for help. The other one that struck me, maybe even more importantly, is you believed in yourselves. Again, your class is unique. Even though we've had in-person classes as much as we could make them happen, you were the class that probably spent the most time in isolation, whether it be through remote learning, through your own education. Just even still having to wear a mask is isolating. But you are the class that came to the realization that if I can't believe and trust in myself, I can't move forward. Now, that idea of trust is so important. In fact, as we talk about this moment of time we're in, there's another phenomenon that's happening, and we should acknowledge it. Leaders, experts in almost every institution that we hold dear in this country, from pharmacists to medical community to elected leaders to the military, just about every profession that we always held on a pedestal and took belief and trust in, we now question. And why is that? Well, maybe it's because we're so interconnected. We have information through Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Yik Yak. We have a tendency to want to believe what we see through a cell phone rather than listen to our experts. And that could be troubling. And I don't have a solution for how we get that trust back, but I do believe the thread that matters the most is what you wrote to your younger selves. If you can believe in yourself, then that's the foundational beginning of trust. You know, Chuck Hagel had another statement that he made when he was out here speaking on leadership, and he talked about this idea that we can have many ideas, and we don't always have to agree with each other. Well, let's face it, disagreement is a healthy thing. But because of this lack of trust in a lot of people, a lot of folks feel sort of entitled to show anger and rage. A lot of people who have voices that when they don't feel anybody's listening, well, they just want to yell a little bit louder. Secretary Hagel talked about the need for compromise. It's the very foundation of our nation, and it's what makes our nation decent. So as you've had many challenges put before you today, Dr. Lee gave you a number of them. I started to write them all down. I would challenge you to try to be more decent. All of us, graduating class of 2021, our faculty, our staff, everybody in Baxter Arena, we all have a job, and that is the job of making ourselves purposeful for the common good. And that's about being decent. It's okay to disagree with people. It's okay to have meaningful dialogue. But we've got to do it in a way that we can find compromise and get things done. Now, as I wrap up my comments today, and although some of the things I talked about sounded a little bit doomy and gloomy, I will say this. The class of 2021, the students that are here at the University of Nebraska in Omaha, a unique campus, the only one within our university system that serves the largest urban population here in Omaha. The future is so bright. You are the innovators, you're the problem solvers, you're the critical thinkers. You're the ones that will understand these challenges. And as you wrote to your younger selves, believe in yourself, know that you are the only reason that you will ever be successful. I wish you continued success. I congratulate each and every one of you on your achievement. And I will tell you, the hope and promises of the future of our nation, our state, and the world is going to be brighter because of each and every one of you. And remember, you are Mavericks forever. Go Mavericks!